big words. We're gonna find out exactly how these work. Who thinks that would be cool? Okay, here we go. All right. Who knows what that is? Brain. Good. And what does the brain control?
Everything.
Good answer. First time. So, you know, the brain acts a lot like a computer. Did you guys know that?
Yeah.
It is.
Yes, the brain's a computer.
Kind of like. But do you know the brain is the most powerful computer ever created? Did you know that?
Yes.
Check this out. Do you know what that is right there?
No.
That's a supercomputer. Supercomputers are the most powerful computers in the world, right? Who's that down there? Anybody know what that is?
Supersonic.
Sonic, right? Is Sonic fast?
Yeah.
Right. Did you know that your brain does more in 1 second than that big supercomputer can do in 14 days? Did you guys know that? Do you think God maybe knew what he was doing when he put our brains together?
Yeah. Yeah.
Pretty cool, huh? Right? So do you guys know what that thing is there on that side?
Backbone.
That's right. And you said the right word. It's called a spine, right? Now, you know what's really cool? What is this, guys? What is this called? Building. Do you know that your spine is kind of like a building?
It's huge.
That building is, not your spine, huh? You got a little spine right now, don't you? Right? So check this out. You see how the building is bigger down here and it gets more narrow as it goes up?
Yeah.
Check this out. Your spine does the same thing too. Who knew that?
Not me.
Pretty cool. See, because this part here is like the foundation because it's got to hold everything above it, right? So pretty smart. And then this part here, it changes shape. Do you notice that this part here, this is your neck right here? Do you notice it's shaped differently than the other parts of the spine? Now, why do you think that the neck might be shaped differently than the other parts of the spine?
I don't know.
Does it move more than the other parts here? Who can move their neck? Turn your head side to side, up and down. So does anything else in your back move like that?
No.
No. So it has to be shaped differently so it can move differently. Isn't that cool? I think maybe when God put our necks together and our spines together, he knew what he was doing. Oh. See our skull right here? This right here, this is called our skull, huh? And it's kind of like a helmet for your brain. Did you know that?
Helmet, brain.
Right?
It's a helmet for your muscles.
Now, guys, let me ask you a question. How important is your brain?
Really important.
It is. Is anything in your body more important than your brain?
No!
Good job, guys. It is the most important thing because it runs everything in your body. So if our brain doesn't work the way that it's supposed to, our body can't work the way that it's supposed to. Did you guys know that?
No.
It's true. Nothing in your body can work the way that it's supposed to if the brain doesn't work right.
You would die.
Well, you could, but sometimes it's not even that. Sometimes it's just not working the way that it's supposed to, and so we want to prevent that. See, now, who knows who this guy is?
Captain America.
Captain America. And so what does Captain America do?
I have no idea.
So does he protect?
Yeah.
Yeah, so your spine is kind of like Captain America. Your spine protects your brain and your spinal cord so that it's always safe because it's the most delicate, most sensitive structure in your entire body, so it needs protected. Do you think it's a good thing or a bad thing that we have a spine?
No. Good thing.
It's a very good thing because if we didn't have our spine, we couldn't do anything, right? Because we need a spine to protect us and a skull to protect us. Otherwise, our spine and our spinal cord would get injured. We don't want that, huh? Now, who knows what this thing here is called?
Spinal cord.
Spinal cord. Good answer. Now, who's ever heard the word spinal cord before?
Me.
Okay, good guys. So, what is the purpose of a cord? What does a cord do?
It brings electricity and blows up.
It brings electricity,
And blows up.
or the cord going from my computer into the TV. What does it help the computer and the TV to do?
It helps.
What's up, bud?
Connect.
connects them so that they can talk. That's right. So the spinal cord is how our brain talks to our whole body. Who thinks that's pretty cool? Right? Because everything in here, check this out, it's electric. Did you know that? Did you know that you guys are full of electricity?
No.
Totally true.
Yes.
So inside your spinal cord, it's sending little electrical signals back and forth. That's how when I put my hands down in here, all of a sudden I get an electrical signal to my brain that tells me that my fingers are here, right? Or if I stand like this and I touch my nose, there's little electrical signals that are going from my finger out here to my brain that tell me where my finger is, so I don't stick my finger in my nose. Because that'd be gross. Huh? Nerves are super, super, super important. Now, have you guys ever seen one of these before?
Yeah.
What is that called? Go ahead.
Backbone.
That's right. The name for these are called vertebra. Every part of your spine, do you know that you've got a bunch of movable parts of your spine that are all called vertebra?
That's what makes you flexible.
It helps, it sure does. So right here, guys, this right here is the body of the vertebra. In here, you see where these little holes are? Your spinal cord's in there. Did you know that? It does. And these little spots right here where the nerves come out and they go to different parts of our body so that it can talk. Do you think that's pretty cool? It's like having armor for it, huh? Right?
It's basically a tail. I want a tail.
Now check this out. Did you know that your spine moves?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Right? So look at it. So every time that you move, every time you bend, you twist, you go side to side, did you know that your spine is moving? Here. Here, let's get up. I want you guys to test it. Okay? All right, so stand up for me. All right, now, what I want you guys to do is I want you to do this for me. So now, do you feel your spine moving when you do that in the back?
Yes.
Right? Everything is moving. Okay, Kara, put your hands down, guys. Okay, now, keep standing up. Keep standing up. Now, I want you to take your hand like this, and I want you to put it right here. Okay? And I want you to go backwards like this, forwards like this, and then turn side to side.
That's weird.
Do you feel your neck moving when you do that?
Oh, yeah. When I do this, it goes in, and when it goes out.
That's right. Do you know that the way that God built our spine is so that it protects the spine so that we can move, but so our spinal cord can move and not get injured? How cool is that? Did God know what he was doing?
Part of the body is the neck.
Oh, she knows what's coming. Good job. You should floss after that one. Now check this out, guys. All right, so your brain needs your spine. Underneath the skin, there's little muscles right here. Those little muscles help our brain to talk to our body, right? Because it's always having a conversation back and forth all the time. And these little muscles here are like sending texts back and forth to the brain. Hey, brain, fingers out here. Hey, brain, hands up here. Hey, brain, heart's beating. Hey, brain, got food in my belly. And those little muscles right there, they help to talk to the brain.
Looks like a spider mouth.
These are little muscles. Did you know that? So right here beneath your skin, you've got little muscles that attach to the spine. And those little, you can. If you push on your spine real gentle on the sides, you feel some kind of squishy there. Those are little muscles on the spine. And those muscles act like little cell phones, and they send signals to the brain about where we are in space. But they also help to make sure that all of the information coming from every part of our body gets to our brain correctly.
So basically those things are slime.
What's that?
Slime.
No, they're muscles. So we can do this, only they act like sensors. So they're listening to what our spine does. Every time it moves, it sends little signals to our brain. But check this out. It also makes sure that everything gets to our brain so that our brain can understand it. How cool is that? Isn't that neat? Now check this out. So this thing here is in between every one of the vertebrae. And you know what it does? Have you ever seen one of those before?
No.
It's a shock absorber. So these guys here they act like shock absorbers. So when I jump up and down, who jumps up and down?
Me.
Jump up and down. Show me you can jump up and down. You're like a frog. See? And every time you guys are jumping up and down, that's what's happening. Is your little discs, they're going boom, 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 absorbing shock to protect your spine. Now guys, we're seeing some pretty cool things here about the way that we're designed, right? Let me ask you, do you guys think God maybe knew what he was doing when he put our spines together?
Yes.
Do you think it was a pretty smart plan the way that it was to protect us? I think it was really, really smart, huh?
He must have took like about a year to figure this out.
It took a long time. All right, so now here's something really cool, right? Right here. Everybody feel right here. Can you feel that?
Yeah.
That part of your spine is called your brain stem. Outside of the brain, this part right here at the top of your spine is the most important part of your whole nervous system. Do you know why?
It goes to the, when you touch something, it goes up into the cord and things.
Good. They call this area the conductor. What do you know what a conductor does?
Leads.
He does. And so, like this little dude here, right? You know he's only 8 years old? 8 years old. Check it out, right? So, but what he does is he's making sure that everything is working the way that it's supposed to in the orchestra, right? Well, this part here makes sure that all of the information coming in from every part of our body gets to where it's supposed to go to in the brain. Now, let me ask you guys, do you think that makes that area little important or really important? Really, really important, huh? Super duper important. Because if the information doesn't get from our nerves to our brain, can our bodies work their best? No.
But I'd rather not have nerves, so when I fall, I don't hurt myself.
So these little dudes here, these are how the nerves work, right? Now, check this out. They're talking. What are these? Okay. So say
Apples.
they're iPhones. Okay. So now, who here has a mommy or daddy that ever talks on the phone? Okay. Now, when they're on the phone, are they talking to themselves or are they talking to somebody else?
Somebody else.
Right. When they're talking to somebody else, what are they having?
Conversation.
Conversation. Good. Did you know that those little nerves, they are having a conversation with your body every second that you're alive?
Ew.
It is. It's cool. It's actually really, really cool.
So basically they run our lives.
They do, because your brain has to get all that information to know exactly what's going on inside. Here, who likes to go run around?
Maybe, just depends on my mood.
So if we go outside and we run around, has anyone ever realized that sometimes our heart's beating a little faster after we go out and run around?
Yeah.
Right?
I don't like that.
So those little nerves, they have to be talking to the brain. It says, oh, I'm running. I need more blood. I need more oxygen. Speed it up. But then when we stop exercising, they talk and say, okay, back to normal, and it slows down. Has anyone ever seen that happen to them before?
Yeah.
Is that pretty cool or what?
I run so
Right?
fast, it feels like my heart's going to beat out of my chest.
Exactly, but the little nerves tell it exactly what to do. When to go faster and when to slow down. Okay,
It started beating more.
who's this guy? Me want cookies. Okay, so, all right, guys, what's your favorite food? Go ahead.
White pea chili.
Yum,
Macaroni.
yum.
Shrimp. Cookies.
Go ahead.
Mushrooms.
Yum,
Spaghetti.
yum. Go ahead. Whoa, my girl.
Chipotle.
Go ahead, guys.
Shrimp. Chipotle.
Guys, you got some good taste here. Okay, so let me ask you a question. This is a really important question. So you eat your favorite food. Like he goes, nom, 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 nom. Right? You swallow that food, it hits your belly. Okay? Now, when it hits your belly, do you have to look down at your tummy and say, digest my food? Who does that?
I did.
Now, does your body use that food? Does your brain know how to use that food?
Yes.
Right? Now, do you know how that works?
No.
Remember what we talked about?
I know.
Tell me.
I think basically when you grow up, your body gets used to more different foods, and then they know how to do we don't know how to compact that into.
It's a good idea. Remember what we talked about here? What do the nerves do?
Talk.
They talk. So when you get that food in your belly, right? Kind of like the cell phone, right? That food hits your belly. So the nerves in your stomach, there's like a cell phone. They say, ring, ring, ring. Hey, brain. Yeah, what's up, dude? I got some Chipotle in my belly. It was awesome. Oh, dude, it's so good. Hey, brain, can we turn it into energy? Okay, let's turn on digestion. And it starts digesting food. And it talks until your body has used it all and turned every bit of it into energy. How cool is that? And did you ever have to think about any of it? No, it just happens, huh? Like, well, you probably have to think about it as, oh, that was so good. Now, who here has ever had a cold?
I just had a cold actually.
Yeah? Now, do you still have that same cold, or did you eventually get better? Okay. Yeah? So then, let me ask you guys a really important question. To get better from that cold, did you have to go over to a mirror, stare at your nose and say, get rid of my boogies? No? Is that not how it
I
worked?
blowed my nose.
Yeah? But is that how you got better?
Maybe.
So remember we talked about those nerves? Okay. So the nerves, they control this thing that we call our immune system. Who's ever heard the word immune system?
Oh, yeah.
Right? Now, do we know what the immune system does?
Yeah.
What?
So basically, it sends out these poofy things, and it attacks what the body thinks is a threat.
Correct. We like to call it the immune army, right? So the second that something gets in to make us sick, right? So our nerves, wherever we're getting sick, they say,
hey, brain, something's going to be trying to make me sick. Can you send in the immune army?
and the brain says, let's send in the troops. And they come in, and for a few days they fight. For a few days you don't feel so good. You got a fever.
You got boogies coming out everywhere.
But then a few days later, you feel better.
Great.
Thank you very much. And did you have to do anything but let your body do what it was supposed to do?
Actually, we had medicine, we drank tea, we ate soup, we lay in bed all day watching TV.
But you know what medicine is for is to help with your symptoms, right? So what does the work? The medicine or your immune system?
Both.
The immune system actually does. All that the medicines do is they help with the symptoms. They help you so you don't feel so much of what's going on. Isn't that crazy? So your immune system is what fixes everything inside of you. Pretty cool, huh? All right. Now, let you watch this for a second. Now, guys, let me ask you a really important question, okay? How important, knowing what you know now, is it that your brain is able to talk to your body at 100%? A little bit or really, really important?
Really, really important.
Really, really, really important,
That's
right?
funny though.
I know, right? Now, so you see what she's having? What is she having?
A conversation.
A conversation, right? Kind of the way our brain and our body are supposed to work all the time. But let me ask you a question, okay? Now, same baby, right? But all of a sudden, there's static. Can you hear it as well? Can you hear the baby as well?
No.
No. So, do you think that if she had something that was preventing her brain and her body from talking the way that it's supposed to, do you think that she'd be able to stay as healthy?
Maybe.
No. Because if her brain can't, I know, right?
It's hurting my ear.
It is. That's why we had that. Because if our brain can't talk to our body, it creates interference in the way that it works. See, now you guys know I am a chiropractor, right? And in our office, when mommies and daddies and kids come here, it's because we take care of this thing called subluxation, okay? And that's what a chiropractor adjusts. When parts of the spine stop moving the way they're supposed to, that's why when the spine moves, it's super important. Because if a part of the spine stops moving, it makes it hard for the brain and the body to talk at 100%. So adjusting the brain helps the body to talk, work, think, and heal at 100%. Okay. That little girl right there, that's my daughter Olivia getting her adjustment. So, and you know why we give her adjustments?
She's a really big bow.
Isn't that an awesome bow? Right? Now, why do you think it's important that we make sure that our spine moves the way that it's supposed to? Go ahead.
So, like if you're running a marathon and it like stops working, you'll just fall on your face.
Remember we talked about how important motion is of the spine? What will happen if the spine doesn't move? Is it going to create static?
I know what it is.
What?
It's gonna like rust.
It won't rust, but it'll make it hard for the brain to talk to the body. Because remember we talked about like if we're trying to go and eat our food, right? So if all of a sudden there's static when our brain is trying to talk to our tummy, can we digest our food the way that we're supposed to? No.
No.
Do you think that it could affect the way that our immune system works if our brain can't talk to our body?
No.
Could, yeah. If our brain can't talk, then we can't work and heal at our best. That would not be a good thing, huh? Right?
Yoga's the answer to everything.
So if you're subluxated, right, we talked about your immune system. Do you guys think it could affect the way that you learn?
Yes.
It is, yeah, it could. Because what if you didn't even realize there's static in the background and it's affecting the way that all the information's coming into your brain? Do you think that'd be a good thing or a bad thing?
Bad.
Really bad thing.
It could like mess up with your brain.
Well, it could mess up everything that your brain is trying to do. Who here's ever had a headache?
My dad had migraines.
Okay? So did you know, well here guys, let me ask you a question, okay? When you have a headache, okay, now we know that headaches hurt, right? Let's put pain over here. When your head hurts, right, we know that stinks, but when you get a headache, are you happier or are you sadder?
Saddle.
Are you ever crabby when you have a headache?
No. My dad's always
Killing yourself when you're dying.
But we can be crabby when we have a headache. So does anyone ever feel like it's hard to concentrate when we have a headache?
Yeah.
Right. So do lights ever seem brighter than normal or sounds seem to bother us?
Wow, you get me.
Right? Is that right?
Yes.
Go ahead.
And also had a headache, so painful I forgot the brush.
That's great that you said that, bud. Hold on for 1 second, guys. Hold that thought. So let me ask you a question. If you have a headache, okay, and all of a sudden your stomach gets upset, is that a stomach problem or is that a nerve going to the stomach problem? What do you think?
Jake was here like
Go ahead.
no.
It's a nerve problem. Good job, buddy. Because if our brain is talking to our body the way that it's supposed to, then our tummy works the way that it's supposed to, and our immune system works the way that it's supposed to, and our nose drains the way that it's supposed to, all kinds of things. See? Yeah.
So basically, me and Jacob have like we live in the same house with brother and sister,
Mhm.
and once I had like you know how like the back of your eyes hurts from watching too much TV.
Mm-hmm.
So once I was like sick and that happened, and I threw up on everything.
That's yucky.
Almost feel about me.
That would not be good. So, do you think that if you had subluxation, it could affect your sleep?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
It can usually affect everything in your body.
It can, right? Do you think it could affect your temper?
Yes, it can.
Right? Because do you know that when you get headaches, do you know that the area the headaches come from is right here at the very top of your spine? Remember we talked about the conductor?
Yeah.
So when the conductor doesn't move the way that it's supposed to, then all of a sudden, it's not getting the information to the brain the way that it's supposed to, and our body doesn't work the way that it's supposed to. It can affect our emotions, it can affect our temper, we can feel crabby. Is that a good thing or a bad thing, guys? Very bad thing. Yes, we heard.
So basically, the conductor turned into a robot.
Well, the conductor was not a happy conductor after that. Okay, so guys, let me ask you a few questions here. I want to make sure you guys got all this. What does the brain do?
It sends signals into the body.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks.
What else does it do?
Thanks.
It does. What else does it do?
Controls us.
Good. Did you have a question, bud?
Yes.
Yes, what's your question?
I threw up 5 times in a row once.
No, that's
Yuck.
I feel all
Well, I'm glad you're not doing that anymore. Hold on, sweetie. Okay, how does the brain talk to the body? What does the brain use? It's inside here. What does the brain use to talk to the body?
Spinal cord.
Uh-huh, that's right. What protects our nervous system? What protects it up here?
I don't know.
What's this called?
I don't know.
Good. What's this called back here?
Spine.
I have an
Wow.
example of the school.
You do. I love that. That's awesome.
Can I see? It's not
So, all right. So, what happens when the spine moves the way that it's supposed to? What?
It goes in outside.
Mm-hmm. So, does it do something else that's important when it moves the way that it's supposed to? Go ahead.
It sends stuff to your heart when like you're running, and it makes it go faster or slower.
Does it make sure that all of the signals from all of your nerves get to your brain the way that they're supposed to? That's right. To keep us healthy, the brain and the body are always having a conversation. Good job.
Lay down.
A subluxation on the spine is kind of like what? When that little girl was having that conversation on the phone, and what was static? And is that good or bad?
Bad.
Really bad. One thing that adjusting does to the spine for your health. What is it? What do you think it does? What do you think is one effect? Go ahead.
It makes energy, and it helps the body exercise.
This is part of the spine.
Does adjusting help the spine to talk to the brain better?
Yes.
Yes.
Does it help the brain to heal better?
Yes.
Yeah. Do you think your body works better when your spine is moving the way that it's supposed to?
Maybe.
Mm-hmm. That's my job. So like in that video when I was adjusting my daughter, so the reason that we do that is to make sure that her brain and her body are able to talk 100% all the time. Isn't that cool?
Yes.
Go ahead.
Basically, the head is the top of an antenna, the spine is the long part, and the legs are just the way it moves around.
But it needs nerves to talk all the time. Okay? So guys, who has any questions? Go ahead, buddy.
Those big words.
I know.
Who had fun? Who learned something about your health today? Who understands the brain better now?
Me.
Good. Okay. So guys, hey, listen. Because you guys were so awesome and you had such good questions, we have a gift for everybody. Okay? All right. So Miss Jonna and Miss Jessica are going to help you guys with getting your gifts. I thank you guys so much for coming today. We had so much fun. On your way up, go up and see Miss Jonna. I want everyone to give me a high five on the way. Oh, hold on, princess. Good job, guys. Good job. Good job. Good job. You too, buddy. You can get a gift too, bud. Come up and get something.